Hi guys, sorry, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Well, do apologise. Had a sort of very late business call came in there, so I had to take it. So there was nothing I could do. So anyway, how is everyone today? And thank you for Kiam for keeping the seat warm. Let's call it that. And just looking through, I was messaging you before, but then I had to sort of concentrate on some other stuff. So anyway, let's see. Today's topics are going to be about City starting eventually to celebrate the past. CIES rankings for the top players in Europe. Laporte is right up there, sadly. Premier League rankings for supporters, home clubs. Rangers want Foden, but that ain't going to happen. And fixture change has just come through for the Wolves match on 6th of October, which ain't good. Another change. So let me go back to what's going on the live chat. So thank you everyone for sticking by it. And let's see. Good afternoon, Blues, says Martin. Kiam says, good morning, Blues. Good morning from Kiam. It's morning over there. Look out for the Fantasy Football Week 4 review coming to the channel later today. Also, for the FIFA fans out there, episode 14 of Career Mode will be on the channel later today. And it's Champions League time. Oh, I'm looking at those emojis and it's... that don't look good. Kiam, I hope you're confident, mate. We want you to win the title, win the Champions League, and do everything. We booing the anthem? Boo. Feel free to boo. I'm just going back through your comments. So I think no news is bad news with this one. A bit worrying. I think you're on about Laporte. Nothing has come out whatsoever yet, officially. Player of the season so far, says Kiam. David Silva. Section says Oscar Bob. Sterling for me, minus Brighton. Aguero. I said. KDB back to his best, says Ryan. Wow, that's a tad early. Bob on. Oscar Bob, I went for. VAR, good shout. It's been the most spoken about. Yep, and the most consistently crap, says Martin. First game we know VAR was fun. VAR can go and copulate with itself. The Premier League managed to make it worse than just having a ref. Well, I was listening to some stuff today. I was driving and I was listening to, I think it was Bobby Madley, who's out in Oslo now with his wife or girlfriend or whatever. And he was talking about it. But he gave the same sort of line. It's the fact that referees and the likes of when the ref blew up early for the Villa goal, but he was still sort of towing the party line, saying, I don't want to really give it to the refs. I don't think VAR is a problem. I think the refs and the rules are absolutely shite, if I'm being honest with you, and that's putting it mildly. Yeah, lovely arm-assisted goal for Newcastle stud. Not enough for a pen. What, Kyle Walker minus Bournemouth? Oh, right, you reckon? Also, the handball for Newcastle is a load of bull. Hi, Andy. Hi, Brian. Another crap week for VR, just not us for once. Yeah, it's a mess. And he's sorted or booted, says Section. Yeah, I agree with you. Could have been too hard for the VAR fairy to stitch us up against Brighton. Can't make things too obvious and overt, says Rob. Kiam, VAR is serving the purpose they want it to serve, and that's controlling results. Bernard, useless VAR. Put in by useless refs and run by incompetent officials. Much like transfer window fiasco. I'm with you, Section. Put it in row Z for me, says Blue Heart. All needs mic'd up. Mic'd? What, you want mic'd on them, Ryan? I'm guessing you mean mic'd up, obviously. I agree. I think it should be mic'd up. Chris is in the house. How are you, buddy? The reusable pint pots are good at City, though. Yeah, and he's putting in room 101. It does. After all, hope everyone is good. Yes, Scott, how are you, mate? Good afternoon, Chris and everyone. Ryan says, has there been any update on Vinny? Sorry, got injured a week or so ago. He's back being a manager now. So not a player, he's going to be the manager. I heard it on Talk Sport last night when I went to bed, and they were talking about it, and they were saying it's funny how he's a player and Simon Davis is the coach when everything's going wrong, but they win one, and now he's back to being a coach and not a player. So I think they were taking the piss, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I don't know. Vinny needs to make his mind up whether he's a player coach or is a coach or is a player or is both or whatever. Anderlecht did win yesterday. Neither Vinny or Sammy played. No, not heard anything on Vincent. Already got everything booked for the testimonial. Good for you, Ryan. Think Vinny needs to stop playing and just concentrate on being a manager. Good shout section. Fans stayed behind as though win the title, but at least they stayed. Scott Williams fair shout section, but I think Vinny thinks he still keep going trying to make up for all the time he's lost. Maybe he does, Scott. Nathan Kempster, what's the big news? Another few hundred tickets for Norwich away. Don't know whether that's a sarcastic comment or whether that's a genuine comment, but we'll wait and see on Nathan Kempster. I really hope it works out for Vinny. Maybe Anderlecht's first managerial position is a bit too much, possibly. I still think, and I said it yesterday, I still think he should have just gone there and played, just be a player for a year, instead of trying to sort of implement this whole Pep Guardiola system with players that clearly can't play that system. Time to spoil the Pookie party. Yeah, I mean, he was only going to last for so long. I mean, anyone who put him in their fantasy league, shame on you. Is there any news on Laporte? Nope. Nothing. Blue Heart City versus Wolves now on 2 p.m. Sunday kickoff. Yes, that's the thing. It's the 6th of October. That's been moved to a 2 p.m. Bit worried about the fella. Here's a big loss. More Sunday games start 3 p.m. Kickoff was novelty for me. It always is 3 p.m. Hello, Blue Heart. How are you? Worried. Pep said can't spend at the minute. Hi Andy. Hi Bernard. Wouldn't you be cheeky Foden? If he had a team like Rangers, I wouldn't try and go in for any player. Yeah, it's a bit of a cheeky bid. But it's not going to happen. Let's be honest about it. You know, Steven Gerrard has come out and basically said that he's very interested in the likes of trying to get a Phil Foden into Rangers, and I can totally get that. It's not just Rangers. Roma have already shown, let's say, an interest, but the window closes today anyway, so at the end of the day it just looks like maybe they're sort of planting the seed for January, but we'll wait and see what happens with Foden over the next few months. Hopefully, like I said yesterday, he needs more game time. If he's going to play that David Silva role, we need him to be playing. Problem being, do you drop David Silva when he's the best player on the pitch? It's so difficult. Very, very difficult. What else? Saeed Hassan, we won't win Champions League. Who's we? City? Big Man says, EF Productions, how are you, mate? Section, more the league, to be honest, Rob. I live in Scotland and don't watch it. Junior football is better. Jerry Gow says, hi, guys. Rob Blondie's on. Hi, Jerry. How are you, Blondie? How are you, Jerry? All right, everyone says EF. All right, mate. Sorry, so much to catch up on. I do apologise, I'm a little bit late today. I just had to take a very, very urgent call. Liam Heron, hope Laporte is back ASAP and can recover well. Heard he's in Barcelona being treated by Dr. Cugat. Not heard that, I'll be honest with you, Liam. I've not read anything that is official on where he is or what the prognosis is, so we'll wait for an official announcement, but if it is a knee injury, you've got to suspect that Pep will send him to Dr. Cugat. Yeah, I'm good, buddy. EF, VR needs to trade with the kid. Blondie's in the house. Hey, Bernard, mate. All good, EF, mate. Thanks. Carl, Hi Andy, Man City were fantastic against Brighton. I'm really happy with our result against Wolves. What do you think of Icardi possibly going to PSG? Not interested. I'll be honest with you, mate. And yes, good win for you guys. I wouldn't say we were fantastic against Brighton. I thought we were third gearish, if I'm being honest. Hi, Carl. How are you, mate? It's holiday here. Oh, stop rubbing it in, Carl. Bloody hell. It's too busy here for me. I enjoyed your game, mate. Good result. Carl, apparently the Port injury looks worse than it was. We don't know. We have no idea. Where did you hear that, Carl? Yeah, we don't know. That's the whole thing. We've got no official news, so we're not going to speculate on Man City Fan TV, if I'm being honest. Melman43, hi there, Andy. How are you, buddy? Good to see you at the game. Chris Baker, don't know if it's true, but I saw it a while scrolling down. If it's on Twitter, I would just wait and see. There's nothing official on exactly what's happened with Laporte or where he's going for his treatment, so we'll hold fire on that. Good game for Delfinio yesterday. Horsey says, Pep said we couldn't buy centre-back as board said we didn't have the money. We can't spend the money at the minute, but maybe in the future. So think of that what you will. He didn't sound too happy. Well, you know, it's an argument with City fans that we've had about centre-backs. Delph was pure class yesterday, says Cal. Told you that, Cal. Said he'd be a really, really good signing for you, and I hope he does really well for you. I really like Fabian Delph. I've got everything crossed for Laporte, so have I. Hi, Blues. Hi, Mark the Blue. You all right? Including your eyes. That's natural, Chris. Thanks for coming on, and good to chat with you as well, Chris, yesterday or the day before. I've lost my days now. Liam Heron, Didier Deschamps said it. Jerry Gal, VAR up to its usual level this weekend. It's not great. Can we sign a centre back on a free if we need to? No, I don't think we can. Maybe, actually, on a free, maybe there's a possibility. Sorry, my lad's trying to come in. It's that time of day. I'm half an hour late, so if they're out of contract, Blue Heart, yeah. If it's a free and there's nothing involved in it, I think that we can still do that potentially. Depends on where they come from. Can we get company back on loan in January? Mangala, Di Michaelis do anything these days? Somebody said that to me yesterday. Somebody mentioned. I keep saying yesterday, Saturday at the game, and mentioned the fact that could company come back on loan in January, and you know what, depends where City are, and maybe we might need him. Fernandinho did a decent job, he did. Wonder if there's anyone out there, Scott. Lewis Dunk is the man, Rob. Piss off, no chance for Lewis Dunk, unless he wants to sit on his ass all the time. Fernandinho brill for 70 minutes or so, I agree. Lewis Dunk likes a biscuit in the brew. Let's get Mangala back. Oh no, God, stop it. It was me. Yeah, it was you actually, Horsey. Yeah, it was. Liam, I don't understand why Deschamps has commented on Laporte being treated in Barcelona, but Pep or the club hasn't. Yeah, well, we'll wait and see. It's such a shame. I feel so sorry for Laporte because he had all the problems with Deschamps. And Deschamps, I said it 2-3 months ago. I said, and this is what I said, and this was my point, was I didn't think Laporte would ever get him back into the French squad until Deschamps leaves. Clearly I was wrong. He called him back, and now he's got injured, which is just a massive, massive shame. For me, like Pep said, is the best left-centre centre-back in world football. 2-inch for CB. We want Dunk. Piss off. We don't. What about the promotion of U-team players with regards to centre-half? City Blue Peter, it's one of those. It's really difficult. You know, we'd all have this fantasy of having Taylor Harwood, Bellis and Eric Garcia and things like that. Are they really ready? Not for me. Not for me, if I'm honest. Can Oscar Bob or Isco not fill at centre? Scollins doubted fella, but Pepe's post-match conference went out of his way to mention Taylor and Eric, so It's a route he's thinking. I think he's definitely, they're already training around the squad. Um, we we want Dunk, we want Dunk, we want Dunk. Get lost, Martin. Rob, as it stands at the minute, I'm digging my boots out of the wardrobe, waiting for a call up. We messed up big time in the summer, not getting a centre back. Danilo, mate, I don't know why we let him go. Well, I said that before. Danilo was such a flexible player in respect to that. He could play in 3 or 4 positions, so it was a bit of a strange one considering that Cancelo is not going to play until after the international break. Maybe Walker's going to now. Pep's going to work. Let's face it, Walker, and this is the thing. Walker is not in the England squad for the upcoming break, so maybe Pep will work like he has done with Fernandinho. Maybe Pep will work with Walker over the next week or so, and just, you know, after the international break, he'll just work on Walker non-stop as a potential centre-back. Cancelo can go right back. So, not all is lost. Let's keep the faith, Blues. Laporte is down to Rob and his slabhead curse. Martin said Pepsi Walker can go play centre-back, was on Bieber along with the money subject. Carl, and don't forget Stones and Otamendi with a pair joining. Hey, listen, I love Stones and I've always stuck up for Otamendi. So for me, I'm quite happy with having Otamendi and Stones. No problem whatsoever for me. I know other people dismiss that, but for me, Otamendi is very, very solid. Stones, I'll always support him. So, hello, did you see Danilo's goal? No, I didn't, Joseph. They've talked about Walker as centre-back in the media. I think he's an option. Yeah, I agree. I hope we start to play 3 at the back when Mendy. No, I don't. No, not for me. Sorry, Laporte on one leg would be better than Dunk. He would be, Chris. We could put anyone in goal as a centre-back until Laporte returns. Can you imagine, Blondie? Can you actually imagine if Pep ever did that? It'd be piss-taking of the highest order. And somebody said Stones in class. I would say that would be Pep's class if he ever did that. Rob says, do you think City can go season without major injuries? Tat rate's over already. Well, according to the media, Rob, yeah, it's over. It's all about Liverpool. Can't we get company back considering he's a free agent? Yeah, we can get him back in January. He won't do anything now. Horsey says, I will play centre back, only costs 150 grand a week to get me play. James Richardson, do you think something sinister is happening with the Premier League and the FA regarding decisions turning the fans, pundits and media against VAR, then scrapping it as it didn't want it in any way? No, I don't. I think VAR is here to stay. I do. I honestly do. Chris Baker says section Laporte in a wheelchair would be better than Dunk. And Levi Cap, I just can't wait to see Angelino play. Horsey says, don't mention 3 at the back to Andy. No, it ain't happening. Kiam, Vestergaard, Southampton, good player. Liam Heron, why wouldn't you like 3 at the back? It's worked in the past whenever we've used it. It has, but it's not the way we play. 3 at the back is not the way Pep plays. I'm not saying he can't use it. I've never ever said it. I've said it before when we played Liverpool using a 3. Worked perfectly fine. But not 3 in a back. 3 at the back against the majority of teams that we play against is just irrelevant. It's pointless. Unless he does some masterstroke by putting the likes of Fernandinho forward or something like that. Why would we play 3 at the back when most of the time we were sort of 70-80% possession? Just don't make any sense. Against a Liverpool or a Tottenham or so, I can see him potentially doing that. But it's not a standard formation that Pep goes for. It just isn't. And it just alleviates issues with regards to controlling the ball from the back outwards. I only think, big jump. I only think people are panicking too much, says Mike Armstrong. Pep always finds a way. Could the Dippers do the same? Mark, I'm absolutely with you on this, Mark. Totally with you. Score prediction for Norwich, 3-0 for me. Blue Blood Fan TV. Hi, Andy GM here. Please, could you give us a shout out? Blue Blood Fan TV. Yeah, that's a new name. It's not what you said you were going to be called, GM. Stop dissing Dunk. City will beat Norwich 3-2. Norwich are not going to. No way Norwich are going to score 2 against City. No chance. Unhappy, yay. Jesus centre. You see Norwich getting 2? I see Norwich getting 2. I think they've had their little tiny bit of run, and that's it. And the whole Pucky thing and whatever else gone out the window for good. So get him out of your team. Get him out of your fantasy football team, whatever you do. Blue Blood, rank the top 5 teams in the world now and see where City comes. Just want to see your opinion. Top 5 teams in the world. If you want the truth, difficult one. Very hard. For me, it depends on whether you want. What are you judging it by? Are you judging it by trophies? Or are you judging it by football? If you're judging by football and trophies, Man City, number 1. Liverpool, number 2. Barcelona, 3. And then the rest of it, I don't really care. But that'd be my 3. City 1, Liverpool 2, Barcelona 3. And the rest of it, Juventus, whoever. Choose what you like. Sterling in 3-1. 3-1 versus Norwich. 3-1. Yeah, thank God for that. Pucky is a 3-week pony. He is Scott Williams. It's one of those. So let me jump through. New channel, guys, is Man City Blue Moon fan rising chat, full-time chat. If you could. Yeah, we need to set one of those up, don't we? Yeah, that's very funny. Jay Wang. Yes, a family member is typing for me. My English is very, very poor. Very bad, sorry. Don't worry. Jay Wang, you're a Man City fan TV legend. Everton first in your dreams, Kel. Yeah, Productions, Comedy Gold. It's brilliant. Appreciate your message earlier with the tips. No problem. Blue Blood Fan TV. It's hard to get used to not calling you Football Fan Chat, but there you go. That is Football Fan Chat, by the way. J Wang 10. City, Liverpool, Barcelona, Juventus, Atletico. Yep, I'm pretty with you on that, Joseph. J Wang centre back for masterclass. How dare you diss the God Pucky? Kian, hi, how are you? We need the Wang for centre back, absolutely. 5 top teams in the world: Man City Academy, Man City Women, New York City FC and Rangers. You missed Melbourne there, mate. I would have put Melbourne before Rangers. Oh, that's gonna cause some problems, isn't it? I can't Wang it a centre. We changed to full-time because of Full-Time Devils. Thoughts on the new name and would appreciate a little push. You'll get a little push, don't you worry. Blue Blood Fan TV is too much of a mouthful. I liked your Football Fan Chat, I'll be honest with you. Mark the Blue, is Norwich the hardest place to get to, Andy? It's not for me. I live in Yarmouth. It's fucking awful to get to. Absolutely awful place to get to. From Manchester, it's shite, if I'm being honest. Absolutely shite. Especially it's a later kickoff, so Saturday afternoon is gonna be horrendous. So yeah, good luck. How bad Chelsea? I still think Chelsea will come good. Hi Peaceful Decadence, how are you? Jay Wang, great man. If City beat Chelsea 6-0 and they had Hazard, then you're going to beat them like 15-0. Car tags Phil Jones for centre-back, piss off. Rob is going to kick off, Andy. He is. What's Laporte's date? We don't know, mate. There's no official news. Piss is boiling. Yes, Rob. That's my job. Ashley Willis right. Hi GM, hope you're well, says Martin. Rob, steady breathing. And Yokohama Rob. Oh yeah, I forgot about Yokohama before Rangers, absolutely. What about Girona? Hey, what about NS Freda? I strongly disagree about your argument for 3 at the back, but oh well, come on, City. No, it's absolutely. Hey, listen, it's all about opinions, Liam. I'm not an expert on football. I'm sure you're not. So it's it's about football. It's about chatter. It's about opinions and everything else. So Rob will totally agree with you, Liam. So we all have opinions. That's just the way it is. Joseph Beattie, Man City, Melbourne, New York City FC, City Women, and Girona. Blue Blood, it's a mouthful, but it's about real blues. Yeah, of course it is, mate. Good luck with your new channel. Laporte is fine. We're just doing it to trick Liverpool into a false sense of security. Rodri looks like he's been here for years. He does. He's, very good, but he's got a lot to learn. Like I said yesterday in the post-match preview of the Brighton game, Fernandinho would not have allowed their player to come through when Laporte made the challenge. Fernandinho would have took a yellow card for the team and just said, that's just the way it is. Rodri needs to learn this, which is something that he hasn't learned yet, but he will learn in time. 41 subs in 16 hours, heading for the first 100 soon. Well done, mate. Norwich awful as for bloody Newark. Plastic bounce around plastics. Plastics bounce around. What's that? Chicharito to Sevilla. Yeah, it looks like it. Hi, Martin. I'm also on this account. Oh, right. We've got 2 accounts now with Football Fan Chat. I want to see Walker play centre-back again. We might do. I'm just happy that we put our opinions out there. Yeah, but it's what it's all about. Look, listen. We would never, ever on Man City Fan TV say, we're right, you're wrong. This is a channel for the fans, so it's all about opinions. And listen, if we did, how crap would it be if we all went, yeah, we all agree the same thing. It's all about discussion. As long as we don't get nasty about it, it's about opinions. So everyone is entitled to their opinions. You know what it's like, Kian and others, Liam and Heron. If you go down the pub with your mates, talk after a game, they'll all disagree with who was the best player, who should have done this, should have done that. So that's what football's about. That's why it's so brilliant. That's why we love it. That's why we set up Man City Fan TV. So I don't like Norwich. Excuse me, I still remember the edgy 4-3. Rob, wouldn't that be hilarious? Any New York City fans who made the playoff a game? Most successful ones are club orientated. Carl, Laporte doesn't feel French. He even interviews in Spanish. Perhaps the ruse isn't to fool Liverpool, but instead the French national team. Hey, let's hope so. Andy, do you like Raul Jimenez? Yes, I do. I think he's a good player. GM is all over here. He is. I'm loving the Man City FIFA career mode. Thank you, Cal. It's really good, isn't it? Even though I'm not a FIFA person, I am going to sit down with Kiam one day and we're going to do very, very embarrassing me versus Kiam. But I need to get some lessons off my lads first before I do it, because I have no idea what I'm doing. At least we share the Fan TV thing now. Yes, we do, mate. Good luck. Agree, I never agree. And if you don't agree with me, then I won't be happy. Believe me, there will be trouble now. Agree with me always. Now, I know that's not true, Martin. Right, God, massive jump again. Any thoughts on my logo? Took an hour. I haven't seen it, mate. If I hear Fan TV, no, we do get that way. I don't play FIFA, but for some reason I enjoy watching Kiams. It's brilliant. I love watching it. Who will go down this season in your opinion? Already done it in the predictions video. You need to go and watch that with Rob. Andy is secretly in Everton. I like Everton. I do. Don't get me wrong. I like Everton. I've got fans who are both Liverpool and Everton fans. And I'll be honest with you, I like the Everton fans more than I do the Liverpool fans. I hope they're not watching, but I do. And last season I was at Everton. I was at Goodison away. Love Goodison Park. Love it. even though I got in late because some knob jockey didn't bring my ticket until very late after kickoff. But loved it, even though the view was absolutely garbage, if I'm being honest. But still an old stadium. Wooden floors. Anyone chucks a cigarette on the ground, God, it could be like Bradford all over again. I mean, it's time you really need to sort that stadium out, because as great as it is as an old stadium, it's time you did something with it, because your fans deserve a little bit more, because I'm sure you can fill it far more with at least another 5,000-10,000 than what you're getting at the moment. But yeah, lovely old stand, great club, lots of history. I like Everton fans. Right, let me just scroll through before we have a quick chat about what's going on. Otamendi, media is shocking, full stop. I expect nothing less. I think 2-2 Goodison. I think Aguero scored 2, Charlton and Iwobi. I think the social experiment is going very well, Andy. How about you? I think it's going very, very well, Blue Heart. Definitely is going very well. I changed my name, by the way, because my old name took up half the screen. Yeah, we just need Rob. That's all we need. It's just Rob. We don't need Rob, podcast Rob, blah, blah, blah. Section, that new stadium that Evan proposed looked really good. It did look very good. They're building a new 52k stadium, Andy. Are they really? Scott Williams, I'm more into hurling than football, mate. But a great result for Kerry, but replay Dublin. We have full team. Kerry had their chance when Dubs had. Player dismissed. Edward Denham, when is Ray doing fan cams? Ray? I don't know who you're talking about, mate. Joseph, is Mendy back? Well, he's back in training. I'm assuming after the international break, he'll definitely be back in contention for a starting place. Everton, I like Everton. Only one, Rob, says Bernard. Can I change mine to City God then? If you want to, mate. Just do it. Do it now. Right now, while you're on here. Thanks, Cal. Glad you're enjoying the FIFA content. Plenty more to come with the new FIFA 20 game. That's going to be brilliant when that comes out. The stuff Keon's going to do on that's going to be excellent. Shorter than Horsey, just do it. Should have changed it to Robito Blondie. When you can finish your dinner on FIFA, Martin. Yeah, who is Ray? Yeah, I know I was going to say, who's Ray? Robito Blondie or Robin? Robito Blondie or Robin? Change it to Martin's, Manning's, Turkeys. 50 Shades of 50p Shades of Ray. It's quite funny that, Chris. Anyway, listen. Obviously, there's no official news about Laporte today, and obviously we spoke earlier about the about the sorry, the comments coming through about the Rangers. I mean, come on. Sorry, Rob, but it ain't happening. Rangers trying to approach, and Roma are trying to approach Phil Foden, but that's just not going to happen. It's that simple. But one other thing I did want to talk about, and I was looking for the article, but I couldn't find it. But I was driving back from a meeting, and I heard on TalkSport, it was Jamie O'Hara was talking on TalkSport this afternoon, saying that there's been a report put out on a study done on where do fans actually come from in relation to the clubs they support. So they had this big debate about it. But what they found, that only 17% of fans support their local team. Now, I know this, I don't know what the word is, I'm trying to think of. There's going to be inaccuracies, let's call it that, in respect of, well, if I said to you, well, I live in Chester, so I should support Chester City, then that'd be false, because I was brought up in Wythenshawe, so most of my life, early life anyway, and moved all over the world. So, but I'm still a City fan. But they did say in this, apparently, this report that it was people who, most of the people voted because of their fathers and that most of the people in in the report that were down south, their fathers supported like Liverpool or United, not City, but Liverpool, United. Hence why there are so many Southerners who support Liverpool and United and go to games. And Jamie O'Hara had said, my next door neighbour is a very good friend of mine since when he was a kid living in southeast London. And yet he's always supported United, and he's always giving loads of grief, saying, "Well, my local club is Millwall and Spurs and blah blah blah. How come? How do you dare support somebody up north? What's that all about?" And he said, "Does he still support him?" He said, he was a season card holder until a few years ago, and then gave it up." And I just thought, there you go. That's a typical. That's all you need to know. He's supported through the glory years, and then as soon as they go shit, is giving up his ticket. And that's the quandary with the fact that you don't support your local team and don't have an affiliation from where you were born. Now, I understand overseas fans, absolutely get that, totally get it. But in the UK fan base, it's interesting to learn how, when only 17% of the fan bases are brought up in an area, or the fans who support their local team are brought up in the local area, what is it that actually makes you support? Now, I can only guess it must be like a relationship with your father, uncle, or granddad, or something like that. That makes you do that. Because I must admit, I'm not sure growing up as a kid, I could have really supported anybody else. I just couldn't. That was probably influenced from my parentage and my family members, even though there were a few of them who supported United and things like that. But I just don't think I could have supported anyone else. Maybe Altrincham or somebody, I'm guessing, if we wanted to go as local as we possibly could from Wythenshawe. So it's quite interesting listening to it. I'd really like to have a look at the full analysis of it, because it does make me wonder what is it with Southerners in particular? I'm not talking about overseas fans, because overseas fans is different. But what is it with Southerners? Because that was Jamie O'Hara's point, was what makes Southerners want to support Liverpool and United over Millwall, Crystal Palace, Spurs, so, somebody like that. And is it just a generational thing where your parents force you to, in a way, let's say, force you to support that particular club? So I'm going to look for that. And I'm going to do something, I think, tomorrow. Maybe if I get time, it depends, because my wife's off tomorrow. So, well, like I said, we've got a house full. But it's something I thought I'd do a video on, because I think it's quite interesting trying to work out what it was from individuals. And if you want to get involved in that, please send me an email, mcfcfantv. I'll put it on here. You know it anyway. Because I think it's quite an interesting. It's something that we've covered before. We've covered it before last year and talked about it, but I think it's something quite interesting to understand that. I understand that not everyone is born in Manchester or born in a suburb of Manchester and stays in Manchester and lives literally 300 yards from the Etihad Stadium and blah 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 blah. We all move away and we all do this, that and the other. But it's interesting when you're not born in that area, because I don't understand it, because I was born in Manchester, South Manchester. It's interesting to understand what is it that makes somebody who's born completely out 200 miles away from the Etihad. What was it that made you support Man City? Was it a memory? Was it a game? Was it a player in particular? So maybe it's something I'm going to do a video on, and just try and get as many of you guys on the channel, audio or visual, on a video, and just give us your thoughts. Because of course there are people on here who are not from Manchester, and that's absolutely perfectly fine. It's just interesting to understand the dynamics of how somebody became a Man City fan. And what was it? Can only guess it was a family member or something like that. But I might be totally wrong. It might be a specific player in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s that you looked at it and thought, oh, I love that player. I've not got a team. That's who I want to follow. We've got Carl from Washington DC who posted on here earlier, and he said it was because soccer was in America. Soccer in the Premier League was getting really big, but all his friends supported United and Liverpool and Chelsea, and he just thought, I don't want to be like the crowd. I want to support the underdog, and the underdog at the time in the Premier League was Man City. Hence why he chose Man City. 18 months later, we get the Sheikh Mansour investment, and look at him now. He's like looking at all the others going, see what I mean? So yeah, it's interesting why people do follow, and it don't you can contribute. You don't have to go. I'm a City fan. Like Cal's on here. He's an Everton fan. Cal could be, for all I know, Cal could be living in Australia. But I'm saying is, what is it that made you support that particular club, your particular club that you've invested so much time into, when you might not be from Everton, that area, if you know what I mean, or from Manchester, or from Liverpool, or from London, or wherever it is, it makes no difference. You don't have to be a Man City fan to do it. If you want to get involved, send an email to that, mcfcfantv@gmail.com. I'd really like to do just a little short sort of video talking about it. What is it that fans, because like I said, this report has come out, this study has come out that only 17% of fans are from the actual area. Now, I know that's very subjective because, you know, you're going to take a percentage of the overall thing, but I'm guessing there's more. Certainly, I can only speak for Man City. I'm saying I can't believe 17% of City fans who turn up at the Etihad every week are only from Manchester. I think that figure is far more, but not many clubs are like that. But I'm guessing City will be significantly more than that, in my opinion, anyway. So yeah, send me an email if you want to get involved in it. Just give me your thoughts. You don't have to be on camera. If you want to give me a quick audio or something, or just explaining on your phone what it was, that'd be really interesting, and I'd like to do something on that and put a video out there. But anyway, let's get back finally before I go, because I've got to go looking after my father-in-law. So I love Mahrez. I feel Pep Guardiola is a racist and he's a president making a video. Yeah, don't you even go there. And Rob, stop it. Kian, Mahrez is better than Bernardo. Look at that, stop it. Prince Mahrez, stop it. Withington, 20-minute walk to Main Road. It's no brainer. Yeah, well, it is for you, Bernard. It is for you. Yeah, and I understand that. And it was for me. It was a bus ride. It was the 101 or 102 from Newhall Green. And I was right outside, in my side, right outside the bus depot. So it was a no-brainer for me because of my dad and because of my uncles and everything else. But what is it that makes the other people who are not born in Manchester, what is it that made them support? Oh, we're born in Manchester from a family of Reds, let's say. What is it that made them? Was it just a go against them? The rebel in them that went the opposite way and then suffered heartache for decades and got loads of grief, but look where it is now. I don't know. It's the whole thing. Same me. I support the underdog, top dog. Now, absolutely ocean rage. I support Mangala. Pep the fraud only wins Champions League with Messi. It was my gran that suggested I should support City. We only lived a mile from ground in Moss Side. But that's interesting because you only lived a mile from Moss Side, Blue Heart. Would that not have been your team anyway? That's the thing. Would that not have been your team anyway because they were so close? Not the suggestion from your gran. Surely that would have been your team because they were that close. This is the point I'm trying to get to with what this apparent study said. You would imagine that if you live a mile from Moss Side, that's got to be your local team, surely. Or was the influences from somewhere else? Because for me, there was no team near Wythenshawe except for, I don't know, Altrincham, let's say. But I had no interest in Altrincham. My family members were City fans. Some of my cousins and things were United fans. But my dad and my uncle, they influenced me and got me into Man City. And that was the only team that I wanted to support ever. Yeah, I'm guessing for me to travel to Altrincham would have been quicker than me getting a bus possibly to, well, that's equidistance, I'm guessing, but would have been easier to go to Altrincham. But all I wanted to do was follow Man City. So that's the point I'm trying to get, not sort of geographical location always, but what influenced your decision? I support City because they finished fifth in 1990, and my dad played for City and turned down a full-time contract. Still rib him on it. Still good on you, Martin. You should do. I don't support City. I support Valencia. Well, that's fine, mate. Maris fanboy, the disease of City. Martin, Pep wants you up front. I'm here till Pep leaves. Then I will go back to the Chelsea. I know you're lying there, Rob. Jimbo Junior, my dad's United fan. I have 3 brothers, 3 sisters, all City till I die. There you go, mate. So send us an email. Just give it. You don't have to spend long. Just give me an overview. mcfcfantv@gmail.com. Just give me a bit of an overview if you want to, and then I can interact with you. And if you want to do a bit of an audio, you don't have to come on camera. If you want to do a quick WhatsApp, Facebook, I don't know, a FaceTime message to me or a video, just it'd be interesting to try and find out what it is and where it came from. Because I just found those percentages really bizarre. I thought that's quite low, if I'm being honest. The Yew Tree Road walk to main road for me too, Bernard. I support City because of Mangala. My uncle was born in Manchester. There you go. Oh, Edward, stop stealing my jokes. It's human psyche to associate with success. It's called glory hunting to us mortals. I actually miss the days when City was shy. I find it hard to deal with success. I mean that genuinely. Yeah, I think Rob, I think many old school City fans do. And I think that's why I think we're different to other teams. And I don't mean that in a really disrespectful way to United, Liverpool and others, but I just think those who've been following City for decades upon decades do find this success a little bit still surreal. It's like, that's why I think you find when you go on social media, you find a lot of all the cockiness and everything else doesn't come from old school City fans. It just doesn't, because we're still waiting for it to all fuck up basically and wait for it to fail. And we know that as City fans, it can happen any minute now. Sheikh Mansour could pull out. Sheikh Mansour could die. Sheikh Mansour could do whatever, and the whole thing could collapse. The whole economy could collapse, and he goes, we need the money in the States or in Southeast Asia or whatever. And we still have that horrible, horrible feeling. And I think that's just been us from following City for decades upon decades. But the new supporter has this cockiness about them that, we're the best team in the world and we'll never get beaten and blah blah blah. And it's just is really, really interesting. It'd be interesting to hear people's stories about why and how they followed City. Even if you are from Manchester and you are, let's say, from Moss Side and live the street away from Kippax Street, let's say, or where I lived on Thornton Road. For a short period of time. But if you've got a story and you want to send it to me. It doesn't have to be, like I said, you don't have to record it. If you want to just send an email telling me about what it was that made you a Man City fan, and be truthful with it, then send it to me at mcfcfantv@gmail.com. And if you want to, I'm going to put a video together. If I get enough people, I'll do a video on it. And if you want to include an audio, or you want to come on video and do a quick, video to it, It'd be interesting just to find out, because I'm going to go and search for that report, and I'll try and do a little bit of research around it, and it'd be interesting to see. But anyway, finally, before I go, what we got on? If the bubble did burst, I would still be there, as would tens of thousands. Yeah, of course it would. David Silva's shiny bald head made me support City. I don't take anything for granted, even playing teams like Brighton. Absolutely. I'm still waiting for this false dawn to end. So am I, Chris. Joseph Sniffles is playing with Molly. Every new City supporter is missing out on the heebie-jeebies the older fans feel at every game for the future. Has Shay got fed up yet? Well, it doesn't seem he has yet, Bernard. But yeah, he's, listen, every person, I've always said this, every person is born in a different decade and born throughout a different period of a football club's progress. And there's times when a club has success and there's times when they don't. You only have to look at United and things like that. You can imagine, as we know, somebody who was born in the 80s, late 80s, only ever saw success at Manchester United right the way through till literally City took control of Manchester. Since then, you imagine anybody born in, I don't know, 2000 and let's say 5 or 6, before they started to really sort of following United because of their parents or whatever, they would have been, I don't know, 2012. So they would have been like 6 years of age or something like that. All they've seen since really is Manchester City dominance. Can you imagine how they feel? They'll probably now be 13, like I was, and watching something going, oh God, I'm getting loads of grief off my mates at school and things like that. So it's all about decades in which people are born and what they're introduced to and things like that. So, it doesn't make any difference, whether, you're born in X, Y, or Z. The feelings are still the same. The feelings will be the same for that young kid who's born in 2006 supporting United now because his dad, his granddad, his aunties, his mum or whatever does. To what I was like when I was brought up, and I missed out on the glory years of 76 because my first game was 77. So I missed out on that period and then watched pretty much a right load of shite for the next 20 odd years. So, they're going to go, they could potentially, this United fan, that's young kid who's 13 now, is probably going through what I went through for decades and could go through this for decades. So it's interesting. It'll be really interesting to find out because, like I said, we're going through this glorious period in our history. Yet the opposition fans are going through, all right, Liverpool fans might go, well, we won a chat, as I'll say, Rob says, the European Carabao Cup. But on the whole, they're going through the same thing as what we as older school fans have been through. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw it out there, let everyone have a... if you want to get involved in it, please just send me an email. You don't have to be involved. If you're happy, just let me know if you want me to read it out in the video. And I'll be happy to read it out in the video with just your comments about it. So please don't forget, take your time. It only takes you, a couple of minutes when you're free. It's a video that I'll probably go out later in the week if I do decide to do one. But Bernard said, my lad born in 83, defo rag if I wasn't around. He would have been. Last time I was in Manchester, it was nice seeing kids in City shirts rather than United shirts like when I grew up. Yes, you see more and more of it section. I had fights almost daily at school in the 80s and 90s with United fans and even Oldham fans giving it. Yeah, and that's the way it was. It's what it was like for me in Wythenshawe. Hi Andy, hi John. My entire childhood was Liverpool United fans taking the piss out of me. They couldn't understand why. As a City fan, and they can't. They will now though. They will now though, Blondie. That's the thing. Any kids now, if a kid now grows up and supports United, or have done for 2-3 years, and long as they carry on supporting United, they'll get it. They'll absolutely get it. Because who knows, United in 10 years' time could be where we are now. They will get it. But the problem being in this day and age is that will they continue going through that period of absolute dire nonsense, garbage that we went through? That's the proof. That's the proof of a proper fan, when you support a team that is doing absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Not when they're doing really, really well. It's sticking with them and going through that process and that. And sometimes in those darker days when you're not doing very well, that's what makes you a fan. That's what makes you appreciate where we are today and what we're achieving today and what that documentary was all about, that hardship through the decades to where we are now. So one last plug, if you haven't seen the documentary, please go over and watch the documentary. I implore you to do it. If you haven't, please go over and watch it. But anyway, last few comments and then I'm going. My granddad was a fine player. He was Irish Army, went to Congo, came back, and my nan had hidden a telegram offering him a trial at United. Only found the telegram. Wow, Blondie, something like that, mate. Please send it to me. That's amazing. United, the new Sunderland corrections. We can't replace the North Stand for atmosphere. Kipats was full on pretenders. We are the North Stand. Piss off. I'm going to disagree slightly on that one. Because I was Kipax and I was North Stand, so don't discount the Kipax. I ain't having it. Collyhurst was red when I grew up. Not many shirts. Yeah, exactly. And then there were sections. Winnishaw, South Windsor, Woodhouse Park. It was mainly red, but we had a big contingent of blue. Excuse me, I was Kipax, Rob. Absolutely. Let's not let him. We're not having it. Kipax, scary place when I looked from Platt Lane as a kid, especially in that game. Kipats, yeah, I was in the corner stand. That was my my place. Went to the Kipats and then went to the North Stand. Thank you section. Well, we all do, Rob. North Stand, give us a song. North Stand, give us a song. I said in the documentary, the Kipats was one side of the ground, not an end of the stand. What a sound. It was brilliant. My uncles, his sons were delighted. They're Arsenal and Chelsea fans. My great-granddad played for City before, joined the army in 1907. It was all still a ball when we were a shy big family. It was, yeah, absolutely. And that's that humour that many clubs just don't have. And it was interesting because here's another point on this before I go. I'm not going to read any more comments because this is my last comment. And thank you everyone for commenting on the video tonight on the live chat. But also, I did listen to that TalkSport thing this afternoon with Jamie O'Hara, and he went. Or somebody went to the Bolton game that was away. There were 5 or how many thousands of Bolton fans. I think it was a home or away. I can't remember. But they got beat 5-0 by Gillingham, I think it was. And he said, even when the 5th goal went in, all the Bolton fans were cheering. They were jumping up and down and they were absolutely cheering. And he was looking at him thinking, that's the 5th goal that's gone in. But it was that relief. It was that, we're still here, which is the name of our documentary. We're still here. We're still here fighting. We'll fight in the future. And that type of, community spirit, that type of, togetherness, that type of, in adversity, we'll celebrate what we can at the end of the day. It's that we had back in the day. And I think that's what stood us in good stead in the future going forward. So, but anyway, listen, I've got to go. It's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a great chat. And don't forget, if you want to send me those things, it's MCFC Fan TV. Ooh, sorry. At gmail.com. Please send me your stories, and if you want to get involved and you want to be part of the video, it'll only be a short video, isn't it? It's not going to be a big massive production. It's just a quick chat really about what was it that made you join City, why, and that'd be really useful. But anyway, take care. Bye, handsome. Shut up, Chelsea. And we chanted boring Arsenal. Shoes off if you hate the Reds. Anyway, guys, you're all superstars. Cheers, Andy Spanners and all, guys. I went in the Kippax once as a kid, got pissed on from behind. Well, mate, that was a common theme. That's why when people say about the Kippax and everything else, I used to say to them, "Have you seen the piss running down the wall and down the floors?" It wasn't what people what people imagined it to be, but it was our Kippax. It was our noise, and it was us standing together and singing, even if we were playing shit. So that's what it's all about. But anyway, listen, guys, take care. Have a wonderful evening. We'll be back tomorrow, and don't forget, if you want to send me those highlights, those history moments, that why did you become a Man City fan, and for what reason, send them to mcfcfantv@gmail.com, and you might be part of the next documentary. But anyway, take care. We'll see you soon.